Hey folks, today I want to show you the official Paper Computer Games Wiki, but before that I want to give you a little bit of background. So throughout all of PCG history, I'd been wanting a way to keep track of all the various adventures. It was very frustrating to me, especially in like this whole Series 1 era. There's adventure after adventure after adventure, and I was like, wait, I want to remember the continuity. I want to remember what happened. Did I meet this guy before? Is this guy new? There was just, no way. And because we didn't keep track of anything, a lot of Series 1 is lost to history. It's just gone forever. Around the whole Series 2 era, I remembered everything I could from Series 1, and I added all the new adventures from Series 2, all the events, everything I could think of. I created this here book. This was a text file on my computer, and I printed it out, and it's got this nice glossy cover. And as you can see, it is like it's a timeline. It starts from the beginning of the PCG universe and chronicles all the events from all the various games. You can see it starts from the beginning of time, and then it goes up through the 1800s up into modern times, and then we start getting into when most of the main PCGs take place, and it's like basically a quick summary of the events of each game. And this book started as just a timeline, but then it grew. I added a characters section. I started adding pictures. Each person has they have a biography at the end of their entry. They have an appearances section, and this just kept expanding and expanding, and I was like, I don't want to have to print this out again and again and bring this to the community center to show to everybody every time. And I wanted a way for them to be able to edit it too, to see it online, to be able to edit it. And as it turns out, wikis are the perfect solution to that. So thus was born the PCG Wiki. The PCG Wiki took this book, its text in its entirety, and broke it down. So each entry in this book is still there on the PCG Wiki. Many of them have grown and have been added to, but the basic idea is still there. So that brings us back to the PCG Wiki itself. I would like to give you guys a tour of the site. So this is the main page. This is where you'll end up if you type in the page's address, pcg.wikia.com. There's almost 1,000 articles on it. Right here on the video, on the site, very prominently is one of my YouTube videos that explains what PCGs are. There's a brief intro over here. Over here you can see I have all the various series and sagas and whatnot listed over here, made by all the different people. These are only the major ones here. And anyway, over here we got the current games. These are the latest games made by people within the last year or two. And again, these are only the major ones. If I included every tiny minor PCG anyone made on this front page here, it would just get gigantic too fast. These are some games by me. Here's Ghosts by Chris, which is pretty darn awesome. Here's my Pokemon game, Pokemon Stop. Palm is making this game Arc. And we have Area 51 by Radioactive Computer Games and Project Z by Salman Ahmad. So, over here, this is kind of our general links. Here are some main characters from the series. You can click Show More, and then there's more of these. More stuff around the universe. This brings you to category pages where you can access a lot of these. We've got characters, locations, races. This is the timeline that I mentioned before, and now it is still exists. It's still the same timeline. It's divided into sections now. We have a really long time ago, that's the prequel era, and now it's got these nice little boxes with images to represent each event. And within each thing, see, this is a little scroll box. So it tells you what year these things take place in. It gives you a summary of the events, and there's a little image of that event here. And this is like the game that the event takes place in. So that is the timeline. We got games. This is like a list of all the PCGs that there are, and there are a lot of them. On the left, Bronzeco, that's what I'm calling Chris here. So these are all the games by Chris that I could think of, that I could remember from Series 1. Here they are from Series 2. Here's my games. There's a lot of them. I made a lot of games. Here's some by Keith. Here's ones by Kurt. A lot of good games over here. Here's games by Palm. Over here we have games by other authors. These are people who, I introduced them to PCGs, one time, where they were around while PCGs were being played, and they decided to try their hand on it. Every PCG has to be recorded in this database, so people have tried making, variations. There's PCGs without paper, PCGs, that we basically just played with on voice, just for fun. We've tried making a few computer games, like actual computer games, but based on paper computer games. So those are, of course, called paper computer games. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. So that's the games. So anyway, going back to the main page, whenever you click this thing at the top here, that brings you back to the main page. On this right box over here, you've got this tabber. You can this is like news. This is just, we also have a Facebook feed because PCGs have a Facebook page. We have a WordPress. There's this from the PCG blog, which I made one time on a whim. It's on Wiki Activity. This is, what was most recently changed on the wiki. So, for example, this one says main page edited by Zach 35 minutes ago, added these photos. And so, where's a good place to dive in? I don't know. But let's say, for example, I click on a character like Zuvak. I have him there just as sort of an example. So here's over here we have just kind of an introduction paragraph, just the general gist of what he is. Zuvak is a mechanical clown on a stick, yada yada yada. Then below here we have his history starting from the beginning. A prototype was created in the 1940s. Zuvak was created by the company, so on and so forth. And this is going to include, every game that Zuvak's been in. There are some games that take place in alternate universes, so that there's different versions of Zuvak in the different universes. And so at the top of the page over here, we have kind of like a tab, other versions. And you can see, different versions of him from around the multiverse, and each version has its own, article, like this one. So there's this little thing here to tell you it is a version of him. So by the way, this whole right rail thing, this whole stuff on the right, over here you got the wiki activity. I mean, this stuff doesn't show up while you're on the main page, only while you're on, random articles. So, this is PCGs on YouTube. These are all the channels that make anything related to PCGs on them. And here's my video explaining what PCGs are. Over here, live chat. You can actually chat with other people in the PCG Wiki. I've never actually done this because there's never been anyone else on the wiki at the same time I've been on it. But, people could, in theory, if you wanted to start a chat, you can type stuff. Yo, what's up, guys? And yeah, if there was anyone on right now, I'd be talking to them, but there isn't, so I'm not. Then you can see whoever's online on the website right now will show up there. Think of this wiki as an encyclopedia. Each character has an article about them. It has their history. Even anything from any PCG has an entry here on the wiki. And here's how we cite where it's from, right? See how at the end of the article there's in parentheses Area 51, and parentheses and quotation marks. That is the game that this is from. So that's how you if you guys want to add an article, you know, about a character or about anything, you should, like, at the end. Well, you know what? Why don't I show you how to do that? Up here at the top right, this little icon of paper. That's what you click to start a new article. So you click that, put in the title of your article. Let's say it's, I don't know, Banana Sunday. I don't know. I'm just making something up here. I'm just gonna say I like to put the first term in bold. Banana Sunday was a tasty ice cream treat, and then I will put in parentheses, quotation marks. To make a link, you hold Control and press K, and then you just type in what you want it to link to. Like let's say Mark the game. You can backspace the part that you don't want to show up, and then you have an article. All you have to do is click Save Page. So anyway, I'm going to delete this article because it's not a real thing from real PCG. And you guys can't delete articles. Only the admin can delete the articles and can restore them from being deleted. But you guys can, you know, create articles, and you can edit any article that exists. You can change it any way that you want to, and you shouldn't hesitate to do that. You cannot mess it up. Like if you accidentally do something wrong, like let's say you accidentally like you're editing Zuvac and you go, whoops, I accidentally deleted everything, and then I press save, and then I click save again accidentally, somehow tripped over everything. Even if you did all that, yeah, the article's all now messed up, but you can go into history, and in history they record the entire, like every edit that has ever been done on this page is recorded here. This is my last edit. You can see it says minus 2076 bytes because I removed a bunch of text, and you can just click undo. See, and it's back as if you never did anything. No matter what you do, you cannot mess this up permanently. It can always be fixed very easily. So you shouldn't hesitate to edit anything, add anything. Like if you know, if there's a character and, you know, I forgot to add some details about him, I forgot to add his appearance in a game that you know about, you know, if you've seen it in the YouTube or whatever, feel free to edit the articles on anything. Any article on this wiki is fair game. Oh, up here there's a random page button, which is a fun way to explore. Just click it, and that takes you to any random article that you may find. That's a cool way to find new characters and new things on the wiki. So yeah, folks, that's I guess that's the general idea. If there's anything else you don't understand about it, let me know. Ask questions, like, because this is pretty complicated. There's a lot more to learn about the wiki, but I just wanted to give you guys a general overview in this video. So yeah, that is all I have for you for right now. So thanks for watching, folks.